What is going on, guys? I'm Paul Modifications. Today I'm teaching you guys how to basically make a rear light with rear environmentals and all of that. So we're basically gonna go through the whole process to the point where it's gonna be ready to be exported. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and just import our light. So obviously file merge. I already have the light set up, since this is more of not showing you guys how to make a light work, but more of what the process is for a light that is facing backwards. So I'm going to use my Tahoe, since this one actually has the inverted lights, or it has more of a vertical mount. So let me go ahead and grab that off the boot. It should be under. Here it is. All right. So wherever you guys want to merge the light in, whatever light you guys want to use, a Dominator, an Avenger, whatever, you can use whatever. So I'm just going to go ahead and size these up just for the video's sakes. Obviously you wouldn't do this, but I have to. So if you guys don't know how to size sirens up, it's just the inverse of what you usually do. So select them using quad R, turn off pivot, go to properties, and then go to scale, and then these should be scaled down to, I think, either 10 or 100. I don't know, this is kind of an older pack, so I'm not really sure. Okay, it was 10, but you can instantly see how this is going to be different. So you guys can see how if I toggle on my actual mesh in my light, it's not in the light, but it's actually flipped, and we'll go over why it's like that here in a few. But first, we're going to go ahead and get this placed into the vehicle. And then we'll go ahead and go over what that is all about. So, basically, we're just going to take this and just put it in the rear of the truck. This is going to be part of my legacy pack, and it is going to have a single and a dual cab version, so you get the best of both worlds. So we're just gonna raise them up just a little bit like that. I would say that should look just fine. It's kind of hard to see through the glass, but it should be good. Yeah, it looks fine. So once we're mounted in there, we'll go ahead and deselect, and then just to make sure it's all good, we'll go ahead and turn on our actual mesh, select these, and then go to edge and deselect. And then we'll go ahead and select this thing, kind of thing. And we're going to go ahead and turn on show all. And then we're going to just basically hold shift and drag out with right click. And we're going to just basically look to make sure that this right here is actually clipping with the roof, basically. We don't want it to clip, but we want it to touch the roof, basically. So as soon as this... Jesus Christ, is it far up? Oh my. Holy crap, this roof is tall. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a clip with the roof because I don't really feel like messing with that mount. Actually, I guess we'll just do it like this. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but so we'll move it up, and then this one is clipping. So what we'll do is we'll come in here and deselect half of this on that side and half of this on that side, and then we'll go ahead and just go back to the Y, and we'll just move this up. Kind of looks a little funky, of course, so I shouldn't go back and redo that. So let's go ahead and deselect it like this and deselect it like that, so we have more of the metal. So let's go ahead and drag it up then, and kind of just like that. Should be good. Yeah, should be good. All right, so now that you guys have your lights mounted in the vehicle, what we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and move on to the siren process. So with rear lights, it's just like any other light. So obviously what we're gonna do is toggle off everything and select the lights with pivot on using quad R. So you just go to select, quad R, hold right click, and then drag and select it. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to display, this little arrow, click reset the world. But first, since these lights have been scaled up, we're gonna go ahead and do reset the parent after that. So then do to reset the world, reset the pivot helper, and then send it to local axes, which is just this button right here, and then create a copy. And just all I'm doing while I'm doing every one of those, I'm just left clicking in the box. Make sure auto is off, because if auto's on, it's going to force you to actually have to click on the lights. So make sure auto's off. It's a terrible feature. I don't even know why it's there. So then take these two lights and these two sirens that are duplicates. Right click, edit, or convert to dummy. So just do that, and then we're going to take this and just drag this in here. Siren 12 in here. And then we're going to, you can basically just check, make sure that dummy stuff out one, and then this one is the light. So, get the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the dummies holding quad R, turn off pivot right down here, go to properties, go down to dummy nodes, make sure you're on dummies and not scale. So dummy nodes and then scale on all three. It's going to be 0.015. 0.015. Everyone, you just type it out. Don't be lazy. Don't start copying and pasting it, because you could mess it up. Once you're done, just click apply. And you guys can see that these dummies are really tiny now. And leave them selected. And we're going to then turn on the mesh of the light. And we're going to go into the top view on the y-axis and go on move. And then we're going to drag this in until we basically cannot see it anymore. So you guys can see this kind of like disappeared, which is what we're looking for. So once that's done, we're going to do hide all, turn on the actual lights, select the lights, do reset the world, again left click, reset the parent, left click in the box. If it's not, if the axes are not changing, it's because you have this right here on. Turn off auto. Alright, so once the axes are in the same axis point as the dummies, so you guys can see like right here, like the dummies are actually lined up with the axes from the actual emissive. That's how you know you've done it right. So now you want to go down to scale, not the other one, not dummy, which it wouldn't even pop up if you don't have like the dummy selected. So go to scale and type in 0.01, 0.01, 0.01, and then click apply, and make sure pivot's off when you do that. So then you can't even see them, they're like super tiny. That's kind of the whole point of scaling it down really small. Some people scale them down to not a very small size, and you can kind of see like the emissive, like the scaled down emissive in their lights, which is not the greatest look. So next thing is just going to be converting these. So we're just gonna do this, a copy of this, and then just create a copy. 1, 2, 3. So this is how you LOD shit correctly. So just show all and then show off. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go create the compound, lock, L0, L1, L2, L3, and then L3 and then lock. Then same thing. Now this is somewhat this is important for lights. It's important all around to do your LODs correctly, because if you don't, then you could have an issue where your cars, when they get far away, there's for some reason like the lights just won't show up because the LODs aren't not loading. And you can also do it in the metas. So now you guys probably think that we're done. Now partially you're right and partially you're wrong. So if you want to say you're done, then you could say you're done, but you're not doing it the right way. So if you want to, for example, have it where if you're in game and you just have these rear lights on, right? And you want the, like when it turns nighttime, where like the emissive or the environmentals actually flash out the back way, how they're supposed to realistically, then you have to do this process, or you're going to have them flashing forward, not looking right at all. So this is just another step to make your models look better and more quality. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold quad R and then select this. Now here's the very important part. You're going to go to modify, rotate, click on the Z axis, pivot off, only the top view. So select it, make sure it's selected, make sure it's red, and then you are going to click, left click, and then type 180, and then click OK. So now your lights have been rotated. You could scroll all the way in and see that they've been actually rotated around. So right now they are facing the wrong way. And the reason for that is because once we get this exported and stuff, let me just put this in my thing. And if you want to do extras, you got to add a collision, but I'm not really onto that part yet. So what you're going to do is just go through the export process. You guys already should know how to do this. I'm not going to show that. That's some baby stuff. So the only thing else you guys got to do is actually go into your carcols. So this is the carcols. So let me go and get the ID of the siren for this real quick. I don't know why I have two open. Close that. Okay. So the siren is going to be 13 and 12. So if I go down to 13 and 12, this should be already set up. So you guys can see. So let me give you guys an example. So you see right here. This should be good. Okay, so look at siren 10, right? You see how under the flashiness, not the rotation, it's kind of stupid. You would think it'd be a rotation, but it's actually the flashiness. The flashiness delta value is 0.000. That means that this light is set to be flashing straight out, aka meaning it's not rotated in Z modeler. If we scroll down to siren 12 and 13, you will see that under the flashiness, the delta value, it is 3.14159.265, which is actually pi. So this right here is telling the light that it's been rotated 180 degrees. So instead of being 0.0, it's actually 3.1. So this right here is going to rotate the light in your car that's facing backwards originally towards the back, which is then going to project the light out the back. It's very confusing, but that's how it works. And I'll do another video on how to do side lighting, because that one's a little bit more tricky. But that is all you gotta do. So I will leave this number down in the description. Literally just copy this and paste it in your delta value and you'll be set. So once you've rotated your light and exported the car and put this value in and then add the new carcols in, you will have rear environmentals, and it is as easy as that. Have a great one, boys.